Today on the channel, we finish off Series 1 from Title Run Toys with Wrath, Ernest The Cat Miller, and Juventud Guerrera.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Title Run Toys Retro Wrestling unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got 3 more figures to close out Series 1 with Juventud Guerrera, Wrath, and first time ever, Ernest The Cat Miller. But of course, for all your Title Run toy needs, head over to Title Run Toys. But everything else wrestling related, hit up Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10%. Of course, you can do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And let's kick it off with Ernest The Cat Miller. That's what we're going to do here today because this is his first ever figure. I can't believe that is true. But basically, his only option was WCW Toy Biz. And he wasn't quite the name that he became a little bit later with WCW, but we've never had an Ernest Cat Miller figure, so this will be the first time around the sun right here. Would love, obviously, like everybody else, to see a Mattel Elite in the future. Maybe, maybe not, but he was on WWE TV just recently in Goldberg's farewell match, which I never knew Ernest Miller and Goldberg were that close, but here we are. And here we are with Title Run Toys Series 1. I like the extra attention to detail first ever figure, and that is key. Of course, in a very oversaturated retro market, how do you stand out? How do you make yourself different from the competition? Well, it's getting first time in the line names like Ernest The Cat Miller here, and that is a good name here as well. Of course, part of the Blood Runs Cold, kind of, and then he morphed into a little bit of a James Brown gimmick as time went on in WCW that I have picked up the mantle for, as I'm the hardest working man, of course, in the action figure game with 4 reviews every single day, a podcast, and all points in between. Truly the James Brown of YouTube is what I am. Somebody get my cape. I need my wife to come out here with a cape on me, and then I throw it off and said, nope, I got one more review in me. Maybe, maybe not. But we do got the purple card here. Purple card series, we'll call this one, I guess. TRT right up there as well. There's Ernest The Cat Miller. Very Hasbro-esque style packaging, as we can imagine. With Champion Chop is what it says. Got Ernest The Cat Miller's autograph on there as well. There's the rest of Series 1 on the back of the package. Dangerous Danny Davis, Paul Orndorff. We did those in a separate video. Check out that one if you did miss it. You got the artwork here. You got the team. TRT Title Run Toys. Ernest The Cat Miller. Height 6'2". Weight 235 pounds. Origin, Atlanta, Georgia. Performed with the Godfather of Soul, James Brown. We'll never forget. 3-time karate champion. World karate champion. So there you go right there. How about that? But we're going to get to Ernest The Cat the Miller off the card. And oh, this one coming off smooth. Coming off extra smooth. Maybe not as smooth as I'd like, but smoother than the last ones at least. There we go. See you later. Goodbye. And I do keep these, of course. So see you later. Goodbye as well. And let's dive into Ernest The Cat Miller. Now, first thing when I see this in the package, awfully plain. I almost think of, is this Monty Brown? Is he going to do the pounce? And it almost looks like a Monty Brown, but I guess he would need some boots on here. But it is a little plain Jane, this Ernest The Cat Miller. I think it really could have used like a robe or a shirt. Maybe it's sculpted in, maybe soft goods, depending how you prefer. But a little bit more pizzazz to make it feel more Ernest The Cat Miller-like. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But you got the head sculpt right here. Almost looks like a young Omaha native, of course, Omaha, Nebraska, Houston Alexander. Anybody get that? Top and Farley, you know who Houston Alexander is? He was a bad man. He was a bad man once upon a time. Back when I was MMA fighting, MMA training, of course. I was in the MMA gyms back there. Shout out to the Militich Fighting Systems. Anybody, huh? But once upon a time when I used to train MMA a couple times a week, like 5 times a week, honestly, Houston Alexander was over there in Omaha, and I, of course, in the Midwest as well. And the name Houston Alexander traveled well. It traveled well. But he does got that kind of stereotypical Houston Alexander face, bald head, that black goatee. Oh, that's Houston Alexander all day long. Or it's Ernest The Cat Miller here. Very determined eyes on this cat here as well. 2 eyes, 2 ears, a nose, and a mouth, playing all those human hits. Bald head, of course. He does got 1 punch in hand, 1 chop in hand. We'll call that on there. Arms do go all the way around on Ernest The Cat Miller. Head back and forth, side to side. waist back and forth, side to side. No articulation on the legs. Got those bare feet down here, but he is wrapped up. He does got some black knee pads. And got some, is that cheetah or leopard? Leopard? Cheetah? Cheetah? You're going cheetah? All right, I'll go with you. Cheetah on the sides here. Black and orange tack looking very good. It is cool to get Ernest the Cat Miller's first ever figure. It just feels a little plain Jane. Maybe that's just me. I don't know what else I would want outside of a gi, a shirt, whatever with him, but still is cool to get. Still is very, very cool to get right here for Ernest the Cat Miller. Does have the Title Run Toys logo on the bottom and S1 for Series 1, which is a cool feature as well. And he should fit on a ringside collectible stand. Of course, using discount code Kyle to save 10%. So there it is, old Ernest the Cat Miller. We'll say the head's maybe a hair big, but you know, retro scaling and sizing and everything in retros all the way back from the Hasbro days, kind of all over the place. But the head maybe a hair big on this one. Now we're going to move our attention over to Wrath. And once again, the head may be a hair big on Wrath as well. But Wrath, a big bad dude, of course, once upon a time known as Atom Bomb. And wasn't he like, what was he? Like Blood Axe or Bloodstone? I don't know. He's in WCW way back when, I believe, as well. Executioner type character as well. Looking very good, looking like Wrath there. Of course, Hasbro style packaging. Once again, we know that by now. What is his finisher? The Monstrous Meltdown. And then, of course, on the back, 6'6", 290 pounds. Origin, Devil's Island, like a young Megadeth singing about Devil's Island. Notched impressive winning streak. Master of the Meltdown. I remember when him and Goldberg finally had a match too. It was like Goldberg on his way up. Wrath was one of those first stepping stones, if you ask me, on that one there. But does look pretty good here. Feel the Wrath. Like a young Harley Cameron. Oh, shout out. When are we getting that Harley Cameron figure? That's what I need in my life. We'll see, but I'm going to try to get Wrath off the card as clean as I can. It's not always easy, as we know, but we try, and there we go. How about that? Up over the upright. See you later, goodbye. See you later, goodbye. It's Wrath time right here, and Wrath out of the package. Looking interesting, man. He's got a little bit of a giraffe neck. Head is not removable, but man, that's a high... It feels like the head's not seated all the way in there. I don't know if we got to heat that up or what, but feels like the head is a little bit high, a little bit big, and he's got a little bit of giraffe neck. And you can see that gap when you look under that way. I don't know. You might be able to heat that up and slide that down just a little bit more. Would not hurt things, I don't think. I can't get it to move, though, so it might be bottomed out right there. Of course, the final meltdown, as we'll call it. But it does look like Wrath in the face. Obviously, the retro styling here, but if somebody said that's Wrath, yeah, I could see Wrath in that face. Beautiful teeth, though, on Devil's Island. Who knew those dentists did such good work? Got a little bit of that inside of the mouth. Got the goatee going on. Got the long, stringy hair all over the place. He's got the singlet that says Wrath on there, so he doesn't get confused, of course. He has that back there in the back room. He's not mistaking it for Ernest the Cat Miller's or anything like that. Yellow, black, and blue attack going on. I got a little paint spot on the back here. Your mileage may vary, of course. Black elbow pads, black wrist tape going on. 2 fists of fury right here. Monstrous fury is what he's got going on there. And then, of course, you got the black boots, black knee pads, black bikers. You got waist articulation, head back and forth, arms all the way around. So the usual Title Run Toys articulation is what we'll call it with this one here. But the head just seems to sit a little bit high for my liking. Your mileage may vary once again. And he does fit on a ringside collectible stand using discount code Kyle to save 10%. And of course, I do got the former Cella right here. And I guess, why didn't I think to bring the Hasbro out? I guess I could grab the Hasbro one. I could do that for the glamour shots. But I did bring out the Cella Toys version here. This would be, of course, one Atom Bomb. Now, Atom Bomb has a tattoo on this one. No tattoo over here. So Title Run Toys, I guess, missing out on the tattoos there. But we did get this, I don't know, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. What is time? 5 years ago? Who knows? But we got a very similar style, well, I don't know, similar style, retro-styled Atom Bomb Wrath figure right here. So we do got that going on. So that is an interesting thing to take notice to, of course. But not a bad piece of business. I do like the double fist of fury here. Just, once again, the head's just a little bit off on this one for me of where it sits and where it stands. But still cool to get Wrath, a guy I would love, once again, to get an elite figure of. But now we're going to finish it off with the Juice, old Hoovy Juice. And I believe there is an unmasked variant of this one. And then I believe there is a variant over here of Wrath, if I'm not mistaken. I did not pick those two up. It's hard to keep track of everything there. But the Hoovy Juice, we went with the mask here. You know me, I love face paint, I love masks. So if I had to pick between the two, I probably prefer the masked version here. But we got the Juice right there, and he is definitely loose on the purple card. Title Run Toys, of course. Beautiful image there of Juve Juice when he had the mask on back in the day. With the Lucha Launch was his finisher. Of course, a patented finisher there, the Lucha Launch. Got the cross-sell for Series 1. Of course, the little file card down here. Let's see what it says about Juventud. Height 5'7", weight 165 pounds. Origin, Mexico City, Mexico. Beautiful this time of year. Todd McFarlane, in a crazy twist of events, you were just telling me that you had the best chalupa of your life in Mexico City, Mexico. You said it was the greatest chalupa ever. You've never had anything quite like it again. Everybody loves the chalupa, apparently, and it was at Taco Bell, you said, right? Seems kind of strange. I feel like you could have went to the Los Angeles Taco Bell and it would have been just as good, but you swear by the one in Mexico City. You fly it in, you Uber. Uber just doesn't do like deliveries. They do deliveries by plane now. That's a wild turn of events. So you get your Uber Eats delivered via private jet from Mexico City for Taco Bell. Now that is when you got too much money. You got too much money, Todd McFarlane. We got to talk offline about this. But Juve looking good, the back looking good as well. Former tag team and cruiserweight champion, and a very impressive 30-year career is what it says. Instrumental in popularizing the high-flying lucha libre style in the USA. There's no doubt about that WCW cruiserweight division on an absolute another level. And something we'll never really see ever again, because for so many people, myself included around that time, obviously ECW a big part of that, nobody had ever seen anything like that in the States before. So it was something fresh, something new. I mean, it's like the first time you saw the Canadian Destroyer. See you later, goodbye. You'd never seen anything like it. Now you see it all the time. And it feels like we're kind of out of moves and stuff like that. See you later, goodbye. But now the juice is definitely loose here. And the juice, the Juve juice is loose. The mask is removable on this one. So the other one must just have a different mask going on for it there. But very cool that we get the mask to be removable. I don't mind that at all. Very cool mask here, slips right over the top very easily. Once again, head a little bit big, but that seems to be their style for Title Run toys. But I like that the mask is removable. I wasn't thinking that was the case, so that is always a cool, nice little surprise along the way. We get Juve Juice right here in the head department. Now, the head doesn't quite sit flush on this one. It's a big cut there and a little bit of a gap. So once again, as I say, your mileage may vary. He's got that long, flowing black hair there, looking very good. He does got tattoos on his arm, so Wrath missed the tattoos, but he does have these. You got the black elbow pads. You got two Fists of Fury, just like a young Wrath as well. He's ready to throw some punches and bunches. Got the singlet going on. You got the trunks down here in a tealish black color. You got the boots going there, and you got Juve Juice on his butt. That's where the juice comes from, apparently. Who knows? I mean, he doesn't have an action feature, but it looks like he would have had the old Jake the Snake Roberts arm if they would have had a feature for him here. Head back and forth, really no movement out of that head because of that long hair. And like I said, doesn't sit as well as I would like it to. Arms all the way around, waist articulation. That's pretty much what you're getting right here. S1 TRT once again. And of course, should fit on a ringside collectible stand using discount code Kyle to save 10%. Put that mask back on there. Looking pretty darn cool. Old Juve Juice here. And once again, I believe there is a variant for him and there is a variant for Wrath if that is your thing as well. But an interesting set right here for this three. I think I prefer Ernest the Cat Miller between the three, and then Juve, and then Wrath, I think. And I don't know, maybe that's just me. Maybe it's because we don't have these figures, and it feels like we've kind of, I don't know. You guys tell me what you thought. It's pretty close, all things considered. But of course, we do got the rest of Series 1 right here with Mr. Wonderful and Dangerous Danny Davis. We do know Series 2 is already shaping up with Mike McGurk, Harley Race, and Nikita Koloff. So that's going to be another very strong set. Cannot wait to see what this Nikita looks like in hand. Absolutely love Nikita Koloff. But I do like what Title Run Toys is doing here as a whole. I think there's some quality issues they got to dive into a little bit on the heads, maybe shrink them down a little bit, make sure there's not some gappage on the neck. But besides that, I think they're going to the market the right way, as they are releasing guys that we're not getting any other places. You know, we're getting Ahmed Johnson from Grapplers and Gimmicks and Heels and Faces. They're not jumping into an Ahmed Johnson. They're going Mr. Wonderful. They're going Ernest Cat Miller. They're going guys that haven't got figures. We're seeing that with Nikita, Harley Race, and Mike McGurk. Of course, Mattel is going to have a Harley, but you got some of those coming. So I think in this very oversaturated retro market we're in right now, I think Title Run Toys is running a good play here to give us stuff different from their competition. Smart move instead of just doing the same old, because if you do that, you're going to miss some sales along the way. But if you come with a first timer in the line, well, maybe I'll jump in on that. So just a business practice, and you got to think about it, I guess, and let me know your thoughts in the comment once again. Let me know how you would rank this series too. Not easy to do. Not easy to do. But of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe to my other YouTube channel. Always thumbs up the videos. Always helps the channel, of course. Check out Patreon, YouTube channel memberships for even more content if that is your thing. SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and of course, TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com, which is my podcast each and every single Tuesday. The Kyle Peterson Show. Check it out wherever podcasts are found with bonus videocast on YouTube. So for Title Run Toys, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?